I think I know what this is because it's a little bit tall and a little bit skinny. Wait, this is already so silly. Trying to like run away from a situation and they always fall. Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome to Bookmas Day 8. That means it is time to... Hello, Sage. Welcome to Bookmas Day 8. Yeah, I'm excited too. That means today we are going to pick our 4th blind book from our little mini advent calendar that's slowly dwindling down in size, and whatever book we pick, we are going to read in one day. So you guys know the drill. Let's get straight into it. I'm gonna close my eyes and try and find my TBR card. This is usually the hardest part. Okay, what is this is not a wrapped book. This is not a wrapped book. This is a wrapped book. Okay. Oh, it's very... This does not want to come out for some reason. I think my cart is very tightly squeezed in there. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Oh, I love this one. I love this wrapping paper. This one has candy canes on it. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is a paperback. This is a paperback. I think I know what this is because it's a little bit tall and a little bit skinny, and I think the shape and size of this matches Assistant to the Villain, which I think if it is Assistant to the Villain, you guys are going to be very excited about this one because this is one of those books that you have been screaming at me for so long to pick up and read. So is this the momentous day that we finally pick up Assistant to the Villain? Okay, you guys will be the first to know though, so I'm gonna close my eyes. Let's see what is inside here. My official guess is Assistant to the Villain. Am I correct? I feel like, yes. I feel like I have to be correct. I'm actually really excited. I am definitely in the mood to read this today. So this is Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer. And I feel like you guys always tell me this book is so much fun and I need to pick it up. So this is a romantasy, but not your typical like gritty, whatever romantasy. This is like a romantasy comedy from what I've heard, because the premise of it is that we follow Evie and she is currently working as an assistant to a villain. I mean, clearly from the title, but this villain, her boss that she's working under, is actually like really hot, and she ends up forming this crush on him. And then aside from that, a lot of you have just told me that this book gives Shrek vibes, which I am so curious about. I think this is the perfect read to pick up right now because our last blind book read was Broken Country, and that was definitely more of a sad, kind of a downer read, like very beautiful, a very, very good read, but definitely not a happy read. And so I think something just happy and funny is just what we need for today. So this is what we're gonna read today. I'm excited. Wait, this is already so silly. I'm on like page 7 and I'm laughing already. You guys weren't joking about the vibes of this one. I feel like today is going to be just like a very fun day. I'm liking this. I'm liking this so far. We just have to like poke fun sometimes. Like we have to make fun of ourselves. We have to make fun of the genres that we like sometimes. I think this is just, I mean, I'm only 7 pages in, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but like this is good so far. All right, 16 pages down. I thoroughly enjoyed the opening of this book. That was just so silly. It really is just like, it feels like a caricature of modern day romantasies, like all the stereotypes of like the hot, immortal, like morally gray villain character and Evie, our sort of like sassy main protagonist. All of that is so amplified in this book so far. It's really entertaining. I think if you've read a lot of romantasy and just want something like a palate cleanser, but also kind of romantasy-ish, this would be very good. Basically in the prologue, like now that I feel like I have a better idea of like how to explain this book to you, we follow Evie, who lives in like a small village, I guess, and she and her family are in a tough place because she has not been able to find and stick with employment. Like she's really had bad luck with jobs. She's currently unemployed and looking for a job, and she wanders into the forest like around her small village. She runs into this villain, gets into this kind of like tussle with him, and he takes her to his manor. But now that she's seen his face, now that she knows where his manor is, he's like, I can't let you go. You have to work for me now or else, essentially. And so he's like, I can give you a good salary, I can give you whatever, but you have to be my personal assistant. But after this prologue, I'm now seeing we're going into chapter 1 and it says 5 months later. So it seems like we're getting a bit of a time jump, which I think is interesting because I think their initial banter on meeting each other was so good that I want to see more of that, and I want to see more of that develop. But now that we're jumping 5 months later, I feel like they're going to already be quite familiar with each other and their dynamic's going to be really different. So I don't know about this whole time jump option at the moment because yeah, I want to see like the slow development and like as they get to know each other, I want to see more of that. But we're going to enter a whole other dynamic now that they've known each other for 5 months and we've kind of skipped that time period of them getting to know each other. We'll see how the dynamic changes moving forward, but this is a lot of fun so far. I just reached the 100-page mark, and this is just really like, it's an easy read, it's funny, but there also is like a pretty good story happening from what I'm seeing so far. There's definitely like this sort of mystery or case we have to solve, and so the plot's moving, but the vibes are just so there. Like the style of the writing, like with the humor and the quirkiness and everything is really strong, and I'm really just enjoying like truly the caricatures of the characters, like how he is so like morally gray, but like brooding and mysterious, but also overprotective. And she's just like this very typical clumsy protagonist. Like, you know, those moments when you're watching movies or even reading books and like your hero or protagonist is trying to like run away from a situation and they always fall. There have been already a lot of moments in this book that like make fun of that trope, that falling trope, and I don't know, I'm just having a lot of fun reading it. I think a lot of these types of like villain comedy romance stories I've read like have usually been set more in modern day, so I'm enjoying how this one is set more in like a kingdom fantasy type environment. So our villain is really just against the kingdom and trying to take the kingdom down, and I really like how it's not just like Evie being his assistant and it's just the two of them. Like there is a whole almost corporate working environment in this like evil organization. Like we have an HR person and everything, so it's just like very organized sort of bureaucracy, but this like funny villain joking way to go about it. I only just have good things to say right now. There is a bit of a dual POV, so mostly we're following Evie, but then every once in a while we'll switch actually to the villain's point of view, and I'm finding it to be the perfect mix, like the perfect balance of the two, because sometimes I find when we get dual POV, especially in a story that is like more heavily romantic, I find that having an exact equal dual POV, depending on how it's done, but I can sometimes feel like you're getting too much of like the love interest's point of view to the point where the mystery gets taken away, the like yearning gets taken away, because it's so clear, like you know exactly how the two characters are feeling and what they're thinking. I feel like some of that like mystery element to a romance can be taken away with dual POV, but yeah, this one is done well, where we only get little like tiny glimpses of his POV every once in a while, and those glimpses are like just enough, like enough to feed you through, I don't know, the next couple of chapters that we get from her. So yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying this so far. I think this was a great rec from you guys, and I'm just curious to see where else this story goes. I'm hoping that it continues to be this sort of like slow burn situation, and now thinking back to where we got the time jump from the prologue to chapter 1, I think it makes sense because we've like settled into the plot versus needing to take time to build connections and to settle into the environment, if that makes sense. The world and magic also are, you know, very simple, because the point of this book is not to have intricate world building and an intense complex plot. It's more just for the humor of it, I think. So yeah, easy to follow but very funny, and I'm having a good time. what it is with me and this type of a genre, but I'm starting to notice a pattern where at like around the mid or like mid-end point of the book, I start losing interest and I start feeling bored, and that is kind of happening right now. I don't know like why it happens. Let's try and think. So for reference, I'm at page 200. I think I am over halfway through. I think I have about 150 pages remaining to read. I don't know why this always happens. Like not like, I mean, I haven't read a book that's exactly this genre, but any sort of fantasy that is more like a rom-com or like a comedy type fantasy, I always really, really love at the start. Like I love the humor in it. It makes me feel excited reading about like a funny fantasy. But then when we get like more into the plot of things, for some reason I start feeling bored because I don't know, maybe things aren't as funny anymore. No, that's not even the case with this book. I feel like the humor is still like, it's still a driving force throughout like even the more serious moments. And I honestly do think that this book has a really, really good balance of humor, but plus plot and plus, I don't know, just more stuff. It's not a complete fluff book, but once I read more than 150 pages of this type of a genre, I just start getting bored. I don't know, but we're getting to, I think, like the climax of the plot. So I'm curious to see how all of that will unfold. And it's not like I've completely lost interest or anything, you know, like I'm still invested in the story. I actually really do like the connection that Evie and our villain have. I think the banter is really good, of course, but then they also have had a lot of just like very cute, tender, like vulnerable moments with each other, and I'm finding it, yeah, just very, very lovely to read. So we'll see how the rest of this goes, and then I will make up my mind. Okay, let's continue reading. Okay, 50 pages later, things are getting exciting again. Thank goodness. I'm just so intrigued as to what's gonna happen. Like I have some suspicions, but I kind of like don't have any idea as to what's gonna happen because I feel like I've just been following the story for the characters and the humor and the banter, but I haven't been like trying to piece together clues the same way I would while reading, I guess, like a more serious fantasy book. So I'm just here for the ride, and yeah, it's feeling fun again. Yeah, the ending of this was really fun. It was really fun. I think the way a lot of things came together in the end was really satisfying, and then also the way it's set up for the next book. I don't want to say too much, obviously, about like where we ended off, but I think the dynamic of the second book is going to be very different from this one, but in a very fun, good way, like in a way that shows a lot of character growth. I enjoyed this. I really did. Was it my favorite book of the year? Was it my favorite read of all time? No, I think I'm gonna give this like a 3.75 for a rating. Really enjoyed my experience reading it. As you saw, it's just a whole lot of fun, but there is definitely like some sort of a decent plot in there. I think it's one of those things where like if you think about it too much, if you try and like look too closely at the details, you will find gaping plot holes and logic holes, but the point of this book I think is like just pure entertainment, and that's what it gave me. It's kind of reminding me of something like Bride/Mate by Ali Hazelwood, but less spicy and with something that actually has like a real fantasy plot, because it's just one of those books that really pokes fun at itself. Like it's very hyper aware of what it is, and it's not afraid to really just like fully dive in. And I feel like that style might be maybe a little bit cringy for some people to read. It's very over the top, but I had fun reading it. I did. And I really do think, as someone who reads a lot of like heavier fantasy books, something like this is just really refreshing when you want that fantasy magic kick, but you don't want to have to focus too hard, or you don't want to like be very hurt emotionally. Like you just want to have fun. I do think there were just like a few things I have finally come to the realization of why I lost interest in the middle. I think I just like didn't really understand the intentions of the villain and why he was the villain for the majority of the book. Like by the end of the book, we definitely got his reasoning, but I think it took too long to get to that point. Like I feel like if I knew more about him and his past and like why he chose to become the villain, like why there are these two sides fighting against each other, maybe I would have been more invested in that little middle section. But I feel like I just didn't really care about like what we were trying to solve and do because I didn't have those intentions. Like I didn't get those intentions yet. But we definitely got it at the end. So yeah, I think the book finished strong. And I really like the romance in this book. Like I like our two main characters. I think Evie is really just entertaining to read about. She has her silly moments, but she has her really good moments too. And then the villain, honestly, I love the villain. I'm obsessed with the villain. Like definitely not like the most serious love interest character out there and very, very exaggerated to his stereotype, but he had his really wonderful moments as well. But there we have it, Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer. That is a book a day, done for today. But I guess just quickly before I leave you, since for like the past few reading vlogs we've been doing, I've been giving you a little mini reading update of what I've been reading outside of these challenge vlogs. Let's head over to my current reads shelf. So I actually very recently finished Good Spirits by BK Borison. This was my like holiday, cute, fun, cozy romance read for the month, and it was also our Fable book club read. So I was reading this along with all of you guys over on Fable, and it was a really fun read. I have realized over the years that I actually don't really love Christmas holiday romances for the most part. Like out of the few I've tried to read, I haven't loved a lot of them, and then the ones that I've liked enough were kind of just like 3 to 3.5 star reads. But I think the two that I've actually liked the best were Good Spirits and then also another one by BK Borison, Love Light Farms. I think that one still might be my favorite holiday romance read. That one and Good Spirits I think were the only two that I've read that I've been like, okay, this was a decent read, but still they're not ever like my favorite books. So I ended up rating this like a 3.25. Like it was fun. I saw some issues with it. I'll talk more about it during our December reading wrap up, but yeah, that was my latest read, and I don't know what I'm gonna pick up next. I honestly kind of feel a little bit pulled to read a super long book. In terms of long books I could pick up next, it's either going to be Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson or A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. We'll just see which universe I feel like diving into. But for now, we can end on a shot with Bob's over here in the background. That brings us to the end of Bookmas Day 8. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave me a like and a comment. If you don't know what to comment down below, let me know which blind book you think I am going to choose next. So we have 3 options remaining for 2 more reading vlogs. So one is Welcome to the Hyunam Dong Bookshop. We have House of the Beast, and we have Great and Precious Things. Let me know which one you think we're gonna read next. And of course, if you like me, subscribe, do that bell thing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!